From being a 22-year-old debutant who shocked the world by giving the most dominant fighter in the UFC the toughest fight of his career, to destroying almost every opponent in his path since, Arman Tsarukyan has quickly grown into the UFC lightweight division's scariest contender, who feels he deserves a shot at gold. But there's a tiny problem. Tsarukyan can't seem to find a top 5 opponent, and he thinks he knows exactly why. It's because he's just that good. After all, he has been an athlete for as long as he can remember. The Armenia-born Russian started his athletics journey with freestyle wrestling, rolling on the mats under the guidance of some of the best coaches in Russia, before prioritizing ice hockey for the next 10 years. Tsarukyan played for a junior club and had dreams of going pro, but before he could make his dream a reality, he was forced to change his career trajectory to help his family put food on the table and shifted to full-time work in his father's construction business. His hunger for greatness was more, however, so in 2015, Arman went from constructing buildings to demolishing careers in MMA, winning 13 out of his 14 fights before signing with the UFC, with 10 finishes, 7 of which came in the first round. In 2017, Tsarukyan won the FEMFP lightweight belt by defeating veteran Japanese fighter Takanori Sato before defending his belt against an even tougher opponent in the shape of Junior Asuncao. Both fights were dominant decision victories. At only 24 years old, Tsarukyan earned the opportunity of a lifetime when he was asked to step in on short notice to face the current champion of the 155-pound division, Islam Makhachev, at UFC St. Petersburg in 2019. Makhachev was a -500 favorite, despite which Tsarukyan took the fight to him, engaging in high-level wrestling exchanges that had everybody thinking,
"Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?"
And fast forward to now, here's what Tsarukyan thinks about fighting Islam again.
When I fought first time with Islam Makhachev, you gave me 3 weeks. If you're gonna give me 8 weeks, I'm gonna smash him.
Anyway, it was a performance of a lifetime for a young and unknown guy like Tsarukyan, who showed polished striking and a gift ability to explode out of tough positions. Although he lost the fight by a decision, Tsarukyan won the heart of many MMA fans by giving Makhachev the toughest fight of his career. He and Islam were also awarded the fight of the night, so if Tsarukyan could do that on short notice, imagine what he could do with a full camp. That was the question on everyone's mind. Tsarukyan answered that question by winning 5 in a row. His first 3 wins came by a decision, where he displayed his explosive striking, world-class wrestling, and most importantly, championship-level caliber. The UFC's top analyst said that he was one for the future, and I quote, "At only 23 years old, Tsarukyan's one of the most promising talents in the sport, and a dominant victory tonight over a legit beast like Davi Ramos is super impressive. Keep your eyes on this kid." Tsarukyan's 4th and 5th UFC victories, which were back-to-back knockouts against Christos Giagos and the highly rated Joel Alvarez.
And I did it.
With 5 wins in a row, Tsarukyan earned his first UFC headliner against Mateusz Gamrot, another rising star in the division with a fairly well-rounded skill set. Both fighters had their moments, with Tsarukyan producing a shining one in the 4th round, where he dropped Gamrot with a spinning back fist, but the pole's accuracy and control time got him the win. Loss like that, or losses in general, can easily make young fighters fall apart. We have seen so many young guys go down the drain after a loss, but Tsarukyan's temperament, maturity, and ability to bounce back at only 27 years old is remarkable, and while he prefers dishing out punishment, he can take blows too. After bouncing back from the Gamrot loss by taking home a decision win against Damir Ismagulov, Tsarukyan faced Joaquim Silva and dominated him for the most part, but the Brazilian was still able to put him on rubber legs late in the 2nd round. Silva was super close to finishing the fight, but Tsarukyan showed his composure and successfully weathered the storm, bouncing back in the 3rd round and stopping his opponent in style. As intimidating and scary as Tsarukyan is inside the cage, he's equally as chaotic outside of it, as he is very unfiltered on the mic. For example, here's what he had to say about Michael Chandler.
In January, you were talking about Michael Chandler, and you had put a tweet out there saying that, you know, he should maybe have a fight with the new generation of MMA, and you called him, you'd said that he had the lowest IQ in the division. Do you still believe that?
Yeah, I still believe that.
Here are his 2 cents on Justin Gaethje.
I didn't know that Gaethje, like, he doesn't have grappling, you know, zero grappling. If you're gonna fight like with Charles Oliveira, you gotta like know about jiu-jitsu more than, you know,
And here's what he thinks of Charles Oliveira.
For me, Charles is a present. You know, I'm gonna smash him easy, because his style, for me, it's the best style. You know.
And Tsarukyan doesn't tolerate someone talking back. For instance, the Armenian recently confronted Bobby Green in a hotel ahead of UFC Austin because of this.
Arman guy's f***ing boring, and I can't stand watching him fight. Every time I watch him fight, I go to sleep.
In a video that went viral, Tsarukyan and Green first chirped at one another before the Armenian let his hands go. Thankfully, the security intervened before things elevated.
I don't do all that talking about back and forth on my face. What's up?
Tsarukyan was way more vicious come UFC Austin, where he faced the dark horse of the UFC lightweight division, Beneil Dariush. It was the toughest test of the Armenian fireball's career, and he passed it with ease, smashing Dariush with a thudding knee in less than a minute into the first round, and ending him to a knockout. After the fight, Tsarukyan thanked his opponent for having the conjones to fight him, unlike some of the other guys in the division.
Thank you so much, Beneil. He is the most respectful fighter in our division for me. Nobody wanted to fight from top 5. Just one guy who wanted to fight, it was Beneil Dariush.
It was a statement win from Tsarukyan, who now eyes a title eliminator against Charles Oliveira, but even if Bronx fights Makhachev for the belt next, Tsarukyan certainly won't be out of options now that he is sitting at the number 4 spot in the ranking. The major question is whether high-profile lightweights like Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, and Michael Chandler will agree to fight him, since he's a very high-risk and low-reward matchup. But more than that, he's extremely explosive with few weaknesses, so it's only reasonable that top UFC fighters want to avoid him.
I'm over here talking about Conor and Tough. You think I'm worried about freaking Arman Tsarukyan with a silent T at the beginning of his name?
Seriously.
Arman Tsarukyan is a problem for the lightweight division. He is only 27 years old, and the fact that he hasn't even hit his prime yet only makes him scarier. Imagine how good he'll be in a couple of years, since most UFC fighters tend to peak at around 30 years of age. Regardless, Tsarukyan thinks he's already the best in the world, and the only man who can beat the invincible Islam Makhachev.
Islam, it's a different level fighter. But we fought 4 years ago. Now I was 22 years old. Now I'm 27. So guys, I got improved, and now next fight is gonna be different one. I'm gonna knock him out. That's it.
With skill backed by such high confidence, the sky is the limit for Arman Tsarukyan. So if you didn't know why UFC fighters are actually scared of him, well, now you know. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and check out another one here.